Tales of Suspense number 24. Never before have your startled eyes beheld anything like the insect man. We have caught him. He is ours. The insect man. Okay. Science and fantasy each say they become more alike. Take this story, for instance. It's a fantasy tale, but it starts with one of the incredible realities of today. Gentlemen, we're on the verge of sending a man to the moon. We've solved all the scientific and mechanical problems. The only one we haven't solved is a human problem: loneliness. It's a long journey to the moon. During that time, the space pilot will be alone in his rocket ship. The question is, how long can the spaceman remain in solitary confinement of his ship before he starts to crack up? We'll have to find out by conducting a test. I'll arrange for it immediately. And that's how I came into the picture. My name is Mason. I'm a U.S. Army sergeant. We could just leave you alone in a room here on the surface of Earth, but that wouldn't do. No, you have to experience the same separation from mankind that our space pilot will. So you're sending me down into the depth of the Earth? Yes. In terms of isolation, your journey will be comparable to a journey into outer space. There's plenty of food and water in the capsule to sustain you. Remember, as soon as the strain of your solitary confinement becomes too much for you to bear, press the buzzer and we'll hoist you up. All right, lower away. There he goes. Deeper and deeper into the earth descended the capsule. I'm already further down than any man has been before. It feels like they drilled a hole to the clear center of the earth. Finally, the strange, murky bowels of our world, the capsule came to a rest. Reached the bottom at last. Now, all I have to do is see how long I can stay here without going off my rocker. The first 15 hours, everything was fine. After a day and a half, I began to get bored. Gotta keep myself occupied. The occupational therapy worked for about 5 days, but then, this stuff's no good. I need human companionship. Finally, after 9 days of underground isolation, wonder how much more I can take before I press this blammed buzzer. But just as my finger dangled over the panic button, thump, thump. What's that? Thump, thump, thump. There it goes again. There's something outside hitting the capsule. But it's impossible. Nothing down here. Nothing. There's only one way to find out. Thump, thump, thump. Okay. Got to get back in. Too late. What a strange little insect. Never before have I seen his type. And what odd little sounds he makes. He must be prepared. I must show him to my people. He's so huge. His mind's so powerful that I can sense his thoughts. Oh boy. That sounds like a problem. The giant lumbered through an underground passage, and then we reached the other end. I saw the most fantastic sight of my life. It's a whole civilization, a subterranean world of giants. What manner of creature have you found? Do you think it possesses intelligence? No doubt. I doubt it. No brain so small could be capable of reasoning. That's so true. But I do reason. I'm a human being. I have intelligence. I shouted in protest. I screamed in desperate despair. But to the giants, my words were but meaningless noise. Listen to the tiny creature buzz. May I have him to play with, Father? Very well, child. Take the creature. You and I will play together. You will be my pet. This is like a nightmare. I must escape. I must get back to my own world. But how? How? I hope you don't sting, but you do look harmless. No! Go away, Tabor. This is my pet. I don't want you to hurt him. He's like a surface child playing with a ladybug. I'll just shoot a protective force field around you so Tabor won't be able to get at you. Now that you're safe, little creature, let us play. See the pretty ring? Jump. Try to grab it. I better humor him. That's it. You caught it. Very good. Child, I must take the insect from you now. Uh-oh. Kids don't like to have their toys taken away. And we have a written story, something else. And here we are, the last 2 pages. We have decided to examine the little creature to see how he is constructed. Our scientific findings may prove that valuable. But if you examine him, you will hurt him, and I like to play with him. No, we will spray him with tranquil gas. That will make him remain still and will also keep him from feeling any pain. I was brought into a laboratory and placed on a table, and then I was sprayed with a strange mist. As he inhales the tranquil gas, it will take effect. They don't know I can read their thoughts. That's the one thing in my favor. If the gas only affects me, when I inhale it, then I'll hold my breath and just pretend I'm immobile. Come, let us get our instruments. Very well, the little creature is unable to move. He cannot flee. Another second. Now. It's now or never. Look, the insect is escaping after him. With the monsters in pursuit, I ran back to the tunnel leading to the capsule. I must make it to the capsule, I must. See him scamper. He's a speedy little thing. I made it. Missed. No man could have come through that nightmarish ordeal without it affecting him. I'm too exhausted, but I can't stand up. I must press the buzzer. And at that instant, I blacked out. Bzzz. When I regained consciousness, I was on the surface, and the sound on the surface once more. And that's the whole fantastic story. You said your loneliness was becoming unbearable just before you encountered the monsters. Therefore, the whole adventure was a hallucination caused by your extreme isolation. It was merely a figment of your imagination. Yes, the mind can only take so much strain before it rebels against it by creating fantasies. Yeah, sure, I must have imagined the whole thing. Too bad. Think what we could learn. If we ever did make contact with a superior race of beings. Editor's note. And so the test over, the capsule is returned to the army base, where the following night, the custodian sweeps it. But he's an elderly gentleman with poor eyesight, and so he doesn't notice that the strange object his broom shoves along the floor. A hair, an insect hair, larger and heavier than any hair which would exist on the surface world. Something that any scientist would recognize as the find of the century. But our aged custodian, alas, is not a scientist.